put into it. Let it completely dry and then put into it. I like the former, the latter, the last. Let it dry. Now none of this dried. It was tacky at best. I don't want it wet. I want it dried. Believe me, I can stick glue to your shirt, to this camera, to that glass. I can stick it to anything on the face of this planet within reason. Now, I've resonated you or the window. My mud's got the glue in it. I can stick glue to glue any day of the week. You follow the concept now. That's what you're doing. You're resonating the surface. We know we can stick glue to almost anything. People in the industry I've argued with for years, oh, you can't stick it to glass. I go, dude, I'll stick it to glass. You ain't getting it off. You'll have to chisel it off. It will stick to anything. Glue will. That's no porosity in that. That's the worst thing to try and stick to, but I'll tell you, I can guarantee I can get it to stick. So that's what we've done.
Tile on the side of the pool or something?
Anything.
No problem.
Anything.
Now, what is the process for tile on the side of the pool? Let's say we wanted to do something to a tile floor or tile shower or whatever without having to rip that out.
Oh, don't go there. You're still looking overlay, right? You're thinking of an overlay, or you're talking about rock. Now, if you're going to build rock over it, the underlayment doesn't matter. The underlayment, you're just building structure over it. I would advise, in the case of tile that's on the wall of a house that's framed, to put the foam first. You don't have to rip that stuff out, but put you some foam, because that's going to expand, and we don't want to put stress on our shell.
What if you wanted to boulderize your shower or something? It's got that vinyl.
That's okay. Just foam it and then shower over it. Now, one thing you want to do, I think, because you're going to be under a space constraint, so you need to rip out as much as you can, then foam. Well, I'm sorry. Get you a liner, make your pan, make you a liner. You got to get that watertight integrity. Put your foam on top of that and build. My removal of material wasn't because I couldn't contain my rock over it and make it live. It's just the additional space I was after, because my rock's going to eat space. If you'll notice on the rocks, there are generally well-groomed joints between the rocks. A lot of guys who lay rocks have gaping joints and big triangular areas between the rocks. We have somewhat in river rock. You all try and lay some and you tell me how you think. This is pretty tight, nice joints. As you form your rocks and you make the joint area, you've got to kind of keep that common. Similar. Now, you know what? I'm standing back here. I'm trying to be quiet, you know. But I'm seeing this, guys. Not on yours. Look, what I'm seeing right here.
Yeah, I know.
It's because something's not right there, and I'm trying to... What you went from was a straight to a continual,
right?
You know, this one may require a, you know, oddly, if you look here, this is really nice to have rocks like this in amongst your line. You've got full rocks, every one of these, and so forth on this one. This is the only small half rock. So we've got a problem here in that the rocks are so big, you're just making them bigger.
Join a couple.
I think you're going to have to cut or join. Huh? Take it.
This big guy there?
Just it looks like dull, Og.
Being able to.
I think in my experience I've had to cut.
They're just too big, you're saying?
Yeah, stand back. Everybody stand back just for a second. Take your hands off the wall and just stand back. I want to kind of get an overview. I just see it. It's going repeated like this. And it doesn't do that anywhere else. Not as bad, not as bad, not as bad. This is almost a straight line, and it's I mean, I can see it right here to a degree too, but this seems to be, this has less movement. It's in a corridor here of a certain width where this migrates a little bit more.
You as a customer. Yeah.
I think you'd hate to have me as a boss, because I'm fanatical about trying to get a perfection in the work. I don't know. I tell you what. Let's just look at this. Is your house? God bless you. You know, I'm not visiting you no more though. That's a fact.
Yeah, if you want that line to decrease visibility,
You'd have to cut.
Farther.
Yeah. Oh, you mean increase?
Yeah, I would think, right? I mean, that's
generally we've done it with a 3-4 inch gap, though, Scott. We did your house all that.
I do it with my house with this whole gap, just like that.
Yeah, but it didn't look like this.
Yeah, sure it did.
I don't think it looked that bad.
Well, maybe because I bring my rocks way in one way.
See what
I do a couple that way,
I'm seeing a row of rocks that are pretty straight.
I think maybe because they're coming out equidistantly is why you're maybe noticing it. If you bring more rocks one way, like say for example.
Oh, that's the problem.
If this guy came out more this way and took into this, you would notice it less.
Take the mud off of that one and make this rock come up tighter.
You could almost make these two together.
That'd be too big.
Whenever I look
in my
at
opinion.
an empty place, is I'll bring one rock as far as I can this way without making this rock look goofy. And then I'll do maybe two like that, and I'll do another one down this way, maybe two that way, maybe one that way. Just
oscillate between the two.
Can we compare them to your interlocking panels?
Huh?
Can we compare it to the interlocking panels?
You can do whatever you want, man.
Yeah. Just doesn't give you enough room, that's why I did that.
you did the
Break that right there. Make that one big rock.
do the same thing. Just careful, but really,
You could do that. I'd just take the grinder to it. I'd make some smaller rocks and then join some middle ones. Okay, I've given you all an opportunity. You have failed me again. No, here we go. Back up just for a second, please. What I would suggest, and you guys can do what you will. I'm going to let you do what you want to do, but here's what I would do. I would create a rock right here and cut out this a small rock. I would then take this triangle out of the equation, and then I would make this a rock up to about here, maybe a little higher, and I would cut this out, and I would take the triangle out. Remember, every time you take and make another rock, you've got a triangle of some respect, okay? And I would choose this as one, because I can go this far, and it's okay. Break it, go this far, break it again. In other words, I probably take this rock down to here, you know, maybe make this rock, and then make this rock here. See what I'm doing? I'm getting a definite break from a half-ass line or a half-ass treatment of trying to blend a panel together. This is too obvious. In amongst, if this was 10 foot tall and it's 6 right now, it's very obvious to me.
Before we did the panel, we could probably cut out like a couple rocks, like before we even set it up there, maybe cut out a couple, so that way we can just totally patch that up.
There's a good idea.
On the wall.
You know what I noticed a couple times?
You can't make that one.
You know, because it's so very different of a color right now.
Nah.
You're gonna notice a lot more, because I know a lot of times when we say, oh, this needs to be changed, all we do is hydroseal. And you come back down looking at it all one color, you're like, yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah. I know we do.
It's the economy these days. Is that what you're telling me?
But you know what I mean? It's all one color. You won't even notice, because right now your eyes are all going.
I have that capability of seeing past it being drying. I'm telling you, that line is just sticking out in my face. Huh?
This is the profitable way of doing it, ain't it?
All you gotta do is break that line once every 6
If you make one rock, right, just break it. That's what happens here. You got a continuous, and all it takes is one rock to break that monotony.
Well, there's
All you need is
another-
basically, rather than doing all that, just pick one rock, right?
You got another one going.
Hey, look, we don't need any more critics here. No, I'm joking.
So you're just gonna find that, you know what I mean? So I don't think it's.
I love it.
When you send the panels,
Let me see.
missing one section there, so you can.
Well, that's not that bad.
I don't know.
I see this one though.
When I was doing my wall, I had
that
it
breaks.
just like that, and then
It breaks right in the middle.
Right.
I looked
Go ahead, go for it. I'm just going to tear this down after you guys are done anyway, so I'm done. Right?
Just so it looks good.
It does, doesn't it? So can you do this, man?
So what do you do with all this after we're done?
You know, I hate doing this. This is where contracting really comes into the equation. You know, the contracting part of the 5 company stands. You get jobs, which we can actually get paid to do. Then you've got you bring in aggressively and organize the labor, and you get them building it, and they get a real-time experience. You get a product, finished.
How do you address that with the clock?
Oh, it's so simple. In fact, I say to customers, ma'am or sir, I generally, now mind you, I'm in the mindset of, let's just use a spa. I want $30,000 for the spa. Ma'am or sir, you know, this particular project's around 50K, but if we can use this for 3 classes, in other words, we'll take a month and a half to do your spa, but if we can use this for 3 classes, I'll discount it 20.